I'm not done with this topic yet. I'm not done with this topic because we got to go to the. This is not. People should not be surprised of what Drake is doing. He been doing suspect stuff that makes you think, does he know who he is and what he is? And I said, in my opinion, Drake is facing an identity crisis. He wants to be admired and looked as a black artist, but he don't do black artist things. And it's not that you mixed. Do you know how many mixed people that are in the industry that nobody questions if they black or not? Drake is not the only mixed artist. Ain't J. Cole mixed? J. Cole is the prime example. Nobody questions if J. Cole is mixed. But I think J. Cole is mixed, right? Let me see. Is J. Cole mixed? I think he is. Yeah, he's biracial, African. Yeah, so his mother is white. See? So this is a prime example, right? It has nothing to do about you being mixed. It's just your actions, the way that you conduct yourself, the things that you do. So this has nothing to do with being mixed because nobody questions if J. Cole is black. Nobody questions, all right, well, he got a white mother. Then no, it has nothing to do about that. So once again, J. Cole is biracial. Cole is biracial with the African American father and a white mother. So this has nothing to do with being mixed. It has everything to do with just he just suffers from having an identity. And you can clearly see it. Now, once again, Drake has been under fire for walking out with Morgan, right? And Morgan has been caught on video saying the hard ER word. The hard ER. The N word with the hard ER. And a lot of people are talking about it. I already spoke on this. I'm not really about to go into detail in this, but watch my other videos and you will see me going over the videos. But nobody should be surprised about this because this is what Drake, this is a pattern of Drake. And this is just to highlight the pattern of Drake. So we got that on his belt. Let's not forget his collab with Camellia, right? Y'all remember this collaboration he did with this individual? They were both caught, I think, on vacation or something like that. I don't know, but I don't know if they're talking. It don't really matter. But this young lady right here, and this young lady was accused of some racial slurs as well. Let's go through her past. So once again, I'm not surprised at this because this is what he does. And he wonder why people don't look at him as a black artist. Do you see J. Cole doing this? Do you see anybody? He's the only one that always continue to see that aligns himself with these controversy people. And then he acts so surprised why people don't think he's a black artist. So this is some of her racial comments that she said in the past. This is, I think this is her. I forgot where her tumble. Why do Asians speak? Why do Asians speak? Why do Asians speak the ching chong language? Ching chong language. So this is her, mocking not only black people but multiple races, right? And this was her when she was younger, saying the nigga please. I don't know what the hell that means, but she consistently say nigga please, nigga please. Black and Mexican and black jokes are pretty much the same. Once you heard Juan, you have heard Jamal. So, this is who Drake always aligned himself with. Black people. Closed. KFC. Black people crying that KFC is closed. And this is her. Nigga, please. Niglet. This is her. This is the individual that Drake did a collaboration with. Run, nigga, run. Boy. Can you beat her? Take a quiz. Already did. Good thing niggas rhyme with niggas, or this rap shit would be hard. Yeah, this is James, the ER hating dolphin. This is what she thought that was funny, you know. Got a black, dark skinned woman looking at a bucket of chicken, of Popeyes, because that's what black people do. We love some chicken. We love Popeyes chicken. So can you see, like, this is what he does. And let's not forget about this. We just gotta go through some of the past so y'all can understand why I'm not surprised at what Drake is doing now. And nobody should be. This is Drake saying that he always felt like an outsider.
Our tweets, Drake claims he wasn't cool in high school. What made you?
Clearly. We can clearly see that. The way that he's behaving, we can clearly see that he's been an outsider. And now he's getting his lick back. He has the actions, the behavior of an outsider that's been bullied and teased, that really don't have a identity.
Melissa asks, tweets, Drake claims he wasn't cool in high school. What made you uncool?
I just didn't. It wasn't that I wasn't cool. It was that the kids that were cool, I wasn't on their wavelength, which made me sort of uncool, I guess. So like, it was, I just always felt like an outsider. I went, when I was in Forest Hill, it was an all Jewish school, like, and just being biracial, but still being Jewish. So I was like kind of connected to the kids, but like sort of distant. And when kids are young, they don't necessarily comprehend everything.
Right.
So it can get a little cruel and a little mean.
You get teased a lot?
Yeah. I mean, I got it, I got it, definitely.
Were you raised Jewish by your mom?
Not like, not like Orthodox Jew or like extremely religious Jewish. We celebrated every holiday and I actually had a bar mitzvah. Mm-hmm. But I was raised in a Jewish household, I would say. But my mother's my mother was always like, you do what makes you happy. You be with who you want to be with. And as long as you're happy, as long as you're safe and you're not bringing trouble into my home, we're good.
So he said himself, he definitely got teased. He definitely got made fun of, which is unfortunate, right? Nobody should be teased. Nobody should be made fun of. But you can tell that he's a product of that because he's still suffering from that. And he really needs to get some type of counseling because he's 40 years old and you can still that it still affects him. He still doesn't know who he is. And that's why he's growing out his hair because he wants to be looked like a black man. He wants to be identified as a black man. And as you heard him right there, he said the cool kids didn't think that he was cool. He said that interview was 14 years ago. That's when he first started, right? He ain't have no beard or nothing. He said this 5 years ago with the beard and everything. So he still thinks like that. He still has that mentality where the cool kids, the black people, still don't think he's cool.
Guys that like are no longer even relevant in that space, but they have a radio interview that day and they want to be like, oh yeah, Drake, yeah, him doing Jamaican music is whack, but it's like they're also mad that OVO signed Popcorn. They're also mad that I was building with Movado back in the day. They're mad that, I link with this person and that person and not them.
Right.
So, some people also feel it. You can always tell when it's personal,
right,
fueled by personal gain that was never granted to them.
It's interesting because like listening to your music is like you're super successful, you're one of the best to ever do it, yet you still have this chip on your shoulder. I remember listening to Diplomatic Immunity, you had the line where you say you're black excellence, but it was come to you, it's not the same though. Like, why do you think that still, like, I guess that dark cloud is over your head?
Well, I think I've been in a lot of rooms and in a lot of conversations and just I felt the other side of judgment and, racial judgment sometimes, like being light-skinned, being Canadian, having people that I look up to and respect tell me that I can't identify with what's going on because, granted, I'm also not the most outspoken person when it comes to political issues. I prefer to talk about it amongst my people, and if we're going to do something, I prefer to go and make the change or actually do something and not just like post about it so that people are like, oh wow, this guy's really conscious about what's going on. Like, the work we put in the communities, the way we give back is legit. It's on the ground.
And once again, this has nothing to do with you being, it's just how you carry yourself. Like, you come on, you rapping like you about that, but you're not about that. Like, just be yourself. He should have just been like Lil Bow Wow. He should have just been like Fresh Prince. He should have been like, you know what I mean? Like, that should have been his lane. But when he start talking about mobbing and no, don't do it. If we all catch a body, we all gonna go through it. Like, he got the money to put You know, like he talking all tough and like he gonna do something to somebody. Like, stop. That's not you. You should have been Lil Bow Wow, man. You should have been first. That was his lane, but he ain't want to do that. You know, since a lot of people didn't identify him as a black man, so now he wants to be really, really black. Let me grow out my hair. Let me get braids. Oh, let me surround myself with gangsters. Let me show that I'm hood, because that's what black people are. Black people are hood, Negroes. All right, so he fell in the perception of what a black man, how a black man is viewed in America, and I think that's what he embodied. But that's not you, man. That ain't you, bro.
Yeah. You know, it's not so you guys can all just like, you know, double tap and say, wow, oh my God, Drake's so like.
You said if you hold your tongue, you get crucified.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, sometimes you can feel that way, but now I feel like the first reaction is to post about something, and then people often just forget to do anything about what they posted about. You know, but I think that there's definitely a sad thing that goes on in celebrity culture where people post things because they feel like they're obligated to. People post things because they know that it makes them look like they're actively invested in certain, but they're really not. You know, they're really actually not giving their money or building any opportunities for kids, building basketball courts, building schools, helping kids get through, you know. So yeah, I'm just one of those people. I like to really do it, you know, and especially, you know, with me and the elusive one, you know, we you know, it's something that we really just do it from way back in the day, from Strawberry Mansion times, from, you know, we've always left our footprint in the community in a real way. Even back in Jamaica, you know, when I did shoot the video there, like we didn't just go shoot the video when I shot Find Your Love. We didn't just shoot the video and dip. You know, we built a place for people to come. We left our money there. You know, it was so. Yeah, going back to your question though, I've just felt the other side of it. So that's kind of where that line came from. You know, I obviously understand the times that we're living in and how serious it is and how divided we all are across the world. You know, with this, you know, with the person that's currently in that position, and you know, having that energy trickle on down. But that line is just me speaking to the other side of things, which is like, yo, sometimes like, you know, some of like my blackest friends can be just as cruel on the other end.
Y'all already know what I'm gonna say. I don't want to repeat, but I have never heard a black man say some of my blackest friends. So don't be surprised when you see Drake walking out with Morgan. He don't think he black. Black people don't talk like this.
Having that energy trickle on down. But that line is just me speaking to the other side of things, which is like, yo, sometimes like, you know, some of like my blackest friends can be just as cruel on the other end. You know, by making you feel excluded. Or making you feel like you can't get in on this. And sometimes I do feel like if, you know, sometimes I don't feel celebrated when I know maybe somebody else would be celebrated for those accomplishments. You know, I don't feel like people say when Drake is the artist of the decade, I don't think anybody says, wow, a black artist is the artist of the decade. I don't think anybody says that, really. I never heard anybody say that in the last few weeks. You know, and I associate myself as a black man. So for me, yeah, it's sometimes it's something that I just acknowledge and I just keep it moving. But you know, like I said, I feel like if the situation was different, I feel like maybe some of the massive accomplishments and accolades that we've conquered on behalf of all of us, not just me. It's not like some, you know, it's just for all of us, right? Just like how excited I am with anybody else in our space.
All right, shut up. But Drake, do you understand why people may think the way that they think about you? Y'all remember when Drake was rolling with the Hell Angels? Well, made it seem like he was with the Hell Angels, and we know what the Hell Angels is about.
Did a video dissing Kendrick Lamar called Family Matters. In that video, a Hell's Angel Montreal president is spotted. There's a conversation with them going on. A lot of years ago when I first started this channel, we talked about Drake wearing Hell's Angel supporter gear. A lot of people are starting to question, is he an undercover member of the club? We're also going to talk about the shootout at his home. Let's get into it. Sets, welcome to Demons Row TV, the holy grail of MC culture, where we cover everything. I'm your host for the evening. Drake somehow affiliated deeper. Video. Is Drake somehow affiliated deeper than just being a supporter, just being someone who wears the t-shirt? Now, for people that are a Drake fan watching this and know nothing about 1% clubs, outlaw motorcycle club, Drake fan watching this and know nothing about 1% clubs, outlaw, someone who wears the t-shirt. Now,
see him right here, wearing the t-shirt.
For people that are a Drake fan watching this and know nothing about 1% clubs, outlaw motorcycle clubs, the Hells Angels, just know the name but don't know anything about them. When you wear support gear, you could either one, be a person that is a great friend of the club, and when you go to their events, you buy a t-shirt, you wear it out there, you support them. Then there's people that are in the club that actually wear support stuff too. So there's a lot of people questioning, is Drake an undercover member? Because sometimes you could be a member quietly so nobody knows your business, wearing a full face mask. Former Minnesota governor and WW.
Right, so We got that.
Legend Jesse the Body Ventura is famous for being a member of the Mongols Motorcycle Club. There are times that he's been riding fully patched.
So we got that on the hand, right? So don't be surprised when Drake does things that make you question, like, why? Listen to how Drake talk about Black History Month.
Black History Month, what does it mean to you?
Black History Month is very important, obviously. I mean, I'm biracial, you know, and I'm proud of that. So my mother's white, my dad is black, and I think it's important. You know, I spend a lot of time in America for Black History Month, and it's always an exciting time for me. You know, I get to always like go to some schools, I get to see the kids, I get to talk about being a positive black role model. So that's.
He don't even believe that a black role model. If you. He don't even believe that. He did not sound confident at all. He's putting quotations over his blackness. If you're a confident black man, you're not going to put quotations of you're being black.
Time for me, you know, I get to always like go to some schools, I get to see the kids, I get to talk about being a positive black role model. So that's great.
Lord have mercy. Let's not forget this.
My mother's Jewish, and you know we have great Jewish dinners like Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. First of all, I live in an all Jewish area, Forest Hill. Okay. I went to a predominantly Jewish school growing up. I definitely had a bar mitzvah in an Italian restaurant, mind you. The song of the night was Backstreet Boys, I went that way. And yeah, man, I was in there. I was in synagogue, I had my yarmulke on.
Hebrew school the whole line?
See, I cheated. I didn't really.
So you just did that good.
Poor Drake.
Parents.
Look at him, boy. He just, oh, y'all can't see it. Look at him, boy. Drake just over there just grooving, boy. Look at him. Go, Drake, go. Go, Drake, go. Why is it cutting it off right there? I don't know why it's cutting it off. I don't know why it's cutting it off.
Your parents are nice. Yeah. So they let you do the bar mitzvah without having Hebrew school the whole line?
Go,
See, I cheated. I didn't really.
So you just did that good. Your parents are nice. Yeah. So they let you do the bar mitzvah without having to do the fucking Hebrew school.
Yup, good shows.
Candlelight, it was really dark, really romantic. Got to know them much better, so it was fun. Do you have like your words up there that like kind of funky and weird?
The guys at our school, instead of addressing people like the group, like saying like, what are you guys doing? Say man's like you. It's really weird. Yeah, so man's like you are going to that, and then just means like the group.
Crew. That's interesting.
It's not. It's really ignorant.
What about rude? That's rude.
Drake saying that Toronto slang is ignorant at a fancy dinner.
Rude.
No.
Was it good then?
It was candlelight, it was really dark, really romantic. Got to know them much better, so it was fun. Do you have like your words up there that like kind of funky and weird?
The guys at our school, instead of addressing people like the group, like saying like, what are you guys doing? Say man's like you. It's really weird. Yeah, so man's like you are going to that, and then just means like the group.
Crew.
That's interesting.
It's not. It's really ignorant.
What about rude? That's rude.
No.
Was it good then? That's fat. That's dope.
Yeah, I hear that.
These are old school, like.
Yeah, I was old school. I don't want chocolate.
And we're going to finish it off with this one.
Just sort of, it bugged me, man. It bugged me because it was like somebody I looked up to at one point. It was somebody that I was like, I used to see out and be like, yo, that's that nigga. You know what I'm saying? He's doing. Just sort of, it bugged me, man. It bugged me because it was like somebody I looked up to at one point. It was somebody that I was like, I used to see out and be like, yo, that's that nigga. You know what I'm saying?
So Drake, can you understand why people don't identify you as a black man? Because you don't identify yourself as a black man. No black man talks like this.
See out and be like, yo, that's that nigga. You know what I'm saying? He's doing.
So chat. Don't be surprised when you see Drake coming out with Morgan or anybody else of this caliber. Just expect it. Just expect it, because he has a pattern. He feels comfortable. He's at home. He feel like he back at a bar mitzvah, like he back in Forest Hill. This is his comfort zone. This is Drake's comfort zone. Listen, boy, he had a time of his life. Wow, I don't have to be black. Wow, I can just sit back and be myself. I don't have to be gangster anymore. Wow, hey, man, he's comfortable doing this. Yeah, I'm up out of here, man.